Hello, fighters, survivors, and thrivers. Welcome to the Cancer Show. It is Superhero Saturday, and I have a lot of superheroes. Okay, so I found this site called healthmj.com, and they list all these random acts of kindness. Hi, Irene. Welcome. Cancer kindness. So I want to share the first 6 with you today, depending on where you're at, of course, or morning. It depends. Okay, so these are just random acts of kindness, and the intro is: good things happen to cancer patients every day, but we do not hear about it enough. Here are some random acts of kindness to cancer patients that make us smile and melt our hearts. This is true. I experienced random acts of kindness on a daily basis. I really feel like that because I had my one friend who was texting me, emailing me, or leaving me voice messages every single day through my treatment. And then I had another friend who was sending cards, and then I had other friends, because I had little children. They were 4 and 6 at that time, so there was a lot of interaction going on. So they'd be bringing food or gifts or taking me out for tea, or many random acts of kindness, and even some from strangers, that was really cool too. So anyways, let's go through these first 6 random acts of kindness. Number 1, students gave the money they raised for their school trip to pay for their principal's cancer treatment. A group of students from Profile Junior Senior High School in New Hampshire donated $8,000 that was being saved for a school trip to their principal, Courtney Vashaw, who was diagnosed with cancer. Vashaw told Today.com, "I was just astounded by their generosity. I know how hard they worked to try to plan a good last hurrah. For them to make that decision is really a testimonial to the character of the kids." 100%, Irene, I agree with you. What wonderful students and caring, loving, giving students that you have. You must be an incredible teacher. Junior, senior high school. And not only a teacher, but a principal. So you were the leader. You were leading the way. And for your students to get together and do that and give up their trip, amazing. I love it. Okay, number 2. This one really got me. Ooh, I'll try not to cry. An 8-year-old boy grew his hair for 2 years to make wigs for kids with cancer, despite being called a girl. Wow. During Christmas of 2012, 8-year-old Christian saw a commercial for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which sparked his interest in helping kids with cancer. Even though he was bullied for looking like a girl, Christian grew his hair out for 2 years so that he could donate it to children with cancer and hair loss. So Christian, you're going to be a leader. You're already a leader. You're seeing that there's somewhere where your services are needed, and you stepped into that. And what a selfless thing to do. 8 years old. You know this Christian's going to be, running a company, a nonprofit, feeding the world, digging well. You know this just by his actions. He's an empath already. He's full of compassion, and he wants to give back. He recognized that they had, they were going through these challenges, and it was probably hard for them. Of course it was hard for them. But Christian saw that at 8 years old. Christian. It's one of my favorite names too. But huge applause, applause, applause for Christian, 8 years old. And they were calling him a girl. Yeah, nowadays, I mean, boys are, I guess when they get older, they grow their hair long, but he didn't care. He just walked his walk. He's walking in his power, that boy. I'd like to know what he's doing right now. That's 2012, 8 years ago. Well, almost 9. I know that because that's when I was diagnosed. During Christmas of 2012. Okay, now that was that was getting towards the middle to the end. But it's beautiful. He grew his hair and cut it off for these children going through cancer at 8 years old. Oh, the gift of giving. Wow. Okay, number 3. Oh, this is about my Tay-Tay. So Taylor Swift is one of my favorite pop artists. And my number 1 is Madonna, and that's who I grew up watching. I am a teen of the 80s. And Taylor Swift, she's extremely generous. And it was my daughter's first concert, 1989, the year she was born. I took her to that, and it was a surprise. And when she came out on stage, my daughter, I think my daughter was 10 then, and maybe 8 or 10, and she was like, ah! And it was so fun. And then Taylor Swift had guests on. Every show that she did, she'd have a guest come. And so John Legend came on and sang, what is it? Is it not all of me? All of me loves all of you. You're my edge of my beginning. Well, anyways, it's all of me. I can't think of it right now, all of the words, but all of me loves all of you. You're my end, you're my beginning, you're my reason for living. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And so that's my song for Sophia and I. She said to me the other day, she's like, I can't use that song when I get married. I'm like, why not? And she's like, because that's our song, Mom. Yeah, that was super, super awesome. So let's see what Taylor Swift did for our C family. Taylor Swift donated money to her backup dancer's 13-month-old nephew with cancer. Taylor Swift donated $50,000 to her backup dancer's 13-year-old nephew who's been battling cancer. In the description of the donation on the child's GoFundMe account, Swift wrote, "Baby Aiden." I'm lucky enough to perform with your Uncle Toshi on tour. All of us are praying for you and your mama and sending so much love your way. Love, Taylor. Oh, that's awesome. You go, Taylor. I love it when celebrities give back, you know. They make so much money, and when I see they're using it for good, it just, it makes me like this. I love it. Especially like the athletes, they go to the hospital wards and the children are just like, oh my gosh, it's their favorite athlete showing up. Basketball players, football players. It's awesome. Okay, thank you, Taylor. Woo woo, Taylor. Love me some Taylor. It's time for her to go on, do another concert. I'm ready to see her again. Okay, number 4, UK charity organization gave couple their dream wedding after groom was diagnosed with cancer. Steve and Laura Monks were given a fully paid for wedding with the help of a UK charity organization called Gift of a Wedding after discovering that Steve had been diagnosed with colon cancer. His wife mentioned that Steve is currently on palliative care, and we don't know what the future holds. But the kindness of strangers made our day completely unforgettable. I don't think I want to research that one. Palliative care. He's in a lot of pain. They have a video here, and I'm going to post it so that you guys can watch it after I wrap up this live. It's really beautiful. It's really emotional. So I did not know that there was a charity organization called Gift of a Wedding. That's a great idea. What a great organization. And I think it's just You know, when you're going through cancer, first of all, it's really, really expensive. If you don't have good medical, it's even worse. I'm worth $1 million, maybe more, because I think every single treatment, chemo treatment at that time was like $15,000, and I had 8 months of chemo. That I don't even know about the surgeries, but I know that everything was really expensive. I was at 2 hospitals, Cedars and UCLA. They're both top hospitals, and you know, it adds up. So for these 2 youngsters, put together a wedding, pay for it. Maybe that wasn't possible. So thank you to Gift of a Wedding UK charity organization for making their dreams come true. Their special day, their magical union, to celebrate their love with their friends and family around and not have to worry about a thing. Awesome. Okay, number 5. Here we go. An elementary school teacher with cancer was moved by a musical performance from her students. A school choir from Public School 22 gave a touching performance by singing Martina Bride's I'm Gonna Love You Through It. For their teacher, who was recently diagnosed with cancer, the class sang as they all held up pink carnations to support their teacher. I'm going to try to find that for you guys and post it. A school choir from Public School 22 gave a touching performance by singing Martina McBride's I'm Gonna Love You Through It for their teacher, who was recently diagnosed with cancer. The class sang as they all held up pink carnations to support their teacher. So obviously it was breast cancer. Well done, students! I love it. I love the compassion, the camaraderie, the generosity, and the kindness. Okay, number 6. Oh, this is really interesting, because we were talking about this. Who was I with? I was with, one of my doctors, who's now one of my best friends, and Sophia, my daughter, and my doctor friend, she just had a baby. He's so cute. And so she said, my daughter said, would you have another baby? And she said, only if I had a surrogate. And I'm like, I'll be your surrogate. She's like, no, I'm like, if you really want me to, because I wanted to have 4 children. Anyways, I have 2. I'm very grateful. I have a boy and a girl, but I did want to have 4. But after cancer, that was not possible. And adopting at that time, it was just like, it was too much of a choppy time. So that wasn't possible either. So I offered my body up for her. She was laughing and she was grateful. So number 6, a woman carried a baby for her twin sister upon hearing that she could no longer have children. After Allison Ardolino Dinkelacker, that sounds Dutch or German, was diagnosed with breast cancer, she was told that she was not able to have any more children. Oh gosh. Upon hearing that she could no longer have children, Allison's sister graciously offered to carry her baby so that she could give her sister a second child. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, Allison, you are blessed. You have an amazing sister. I was planning on doing that for my sister. We didn't know if she could get pregnant, but she just never met anybody. I don't know, she just did not meet the right guy, and then she had leukemia, and during that time they did a lot of chemotherapy and radiation, and so she had a hole in her brain, and so the hole was getting bigger as she got older, and she just passed away. It's almost a year, actually, May 9th, coming up, Mother's Day, that she lost her battle. She's in heaven. She's helping me down up there, helping me down here, helping you guys. But yeah, all my sister ever wanted to do was get married and have babies. and that didn't happen. It was really, really tough for, for all of us, because you would think of it as a simple request, right? But it's not always like that. And this Allison, she experienced it. She got breast cancer. She wasn't able to have any more children. She already had one, obviously, but her sister stepped up. And I told my sister, listen, if they're, and this is this now 15 years ago, wow, time flies. But even before that, when she was dating, I'm like, listen, don't worry about anything. And, if there's an issue, which there's probably not, but if there is, just know that, I'll do that for you. I wouldn't even think twice about that. I would do that for my daughter. I would not have a problem doing that at all. That's a huge honor to be able to do that. So Allison's sister, they don't name her. Allison's sister, bravo. I hope that she's thriving and enjoying her children. How wonderful. So those are our first 6. Number 1, the students gave the money they raised for their school trip to pay for their principal's cancer treatment. Number 2, the 8-year-old boy who grew his hair for 2 years to make wigs for kids with cancer despite being called a girl. Number 3, Taylor Swift donated $50,000 to help her backup dancer's 13-month-old nephew fight cancer. Number 4, UK charity organization gave couple their dream wedding after groom was diagnosed with cancer. Number 5, an elementary school teacher with cancer was moved by musical performance from her students. Number 6, a woman carried a baby for her twin sister upon hearing that she could no longer have children. So there's 24 of them. So I'm just going to do 6, 6, and 6. Oh wait, 6. No, I'm going to do them in groups of 6. So 4 weeks, but I might switch it up. We'll see. But these are really inspiring. I love this. I love hearing about these stories, and I love seeing people, get what they want. It's totally random topic, but my son is a skater. My son is a skater boy. He's also a football player, but right now he's obsessed with skating, and they do these things when the boys get sponsored. They present the skateboard that they're going to be sponsored by, and depending, like, it can be a big deal. Like, they make a lot of money depending on the sponsorship. And this was a big deal. And this was the company that was sponsoring him was called Santa Cruz. So he walks into his apartment, and there's skaters. They're young boys. They're in their late teens, early 20s, and that's somebody's sitting on his couch with a blanket over him, I guess to distract him, and he's like, "Who is that?" And then everybody came out, and his friends, and I think his family was there, because I'm like, "Where's his mom?" And then they showed him the board, and he couldn't believe it, and then he saw his name, and he's looking at it, and I was crying. I mean, working really, really hard. Like, if I'm watching the Olympics or the Academy or any awards, especially when the speeches are so moving, I start crying. I not sobbing, but I get emotional. I'm emotional. I've always been emotional. But seeing people, celebrate their dreams and fighting cancer, surviving cancer, that's a dream. That's a big dream come true. That's a huge success, a huge win. It's our life. So whenever I hear about people surviving, I'm just like, it doesn't have to be somebody I know. I'm just like, thank God. Yeah. Right now there's a little boy that I'm following. He's 15, 16, and he's having a lot of issues. And I'm just praying praying that they can figure it out. They got to do a trial. They're doing a trial now. And this is just one boy of many. You know, there's so many children. And that's why when adults say to me, well, why me? They'll say, why me? This is like when I'm coaching and I'm like, well, why not you? Like, cancer is not, you know, it doesn't pick and choose. It does not discriminate. And if you were going to say, why you, then, you know, why Steve Jobs, or why Patrick Swayze, or why Walt Disney? I mean, we could go on and on. Like, the greatest have had, you know, got cancer. The greatest. And on top of all of that, why the babies? Why the toddlers? The children and the teens, why them? That's the question that I want the answer to. Why them? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. If you know of a superhero, or you have been a superhero, don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you've stepped up and you've helped somebody get through cancer, or you helped a community, or you are part of an organization, please message me. I would love to have you on the show. Would love, love, love to hear these stories. They're so inspiring, and they're so beautiful. They're just heartwarming. And if you want to nominate somebody who was a superhero for you, ask them if they would come on and join me, and we could share their story, share your story, the journey that you did together, because cancer is not a one-person disease. It's a family disease. It's a friendship disease. It's a community disease. And nobody should go through cancer alone. They don't have to. It's a wonderful community of loving, giving, supportive people. And just know that I'm here for you. Message me anytime. And if you have a question, or you need a lift, or you just need an ear, do not hesitate. I am honored to serve you. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on this Monday, May Day, first day of May. I got my vaccination today, my first one. I feel fine. I took some emergency C, and I did some other detox shot. So yeah, I feel good. So far, so good. All right. Thank you so much. Daily mantra. I am healthy. I am happy. I am whole. I am healthy. I am happy. I am whole. One more time. I am healthy. I am happy. I am whole. Thank you so much for joining me. The thriving starts now.